With this Nine of Wands energy, someone wants to fight to make you understand that although they may be somebody who gets a lot of attention, a lot of eyes on them, they could be somebody who is in the public eye, or they're very attractive, so they get a lot of people that flirt with them, a lot of people that try to approach them, or they just have like a very powerful, a very intense, a very magnetic energy, and it draws a lot of people to them, even when they are not trying to kind of get attention. Despite all of that, they only have eyes for you. If this is something where jealousy or uncertainty has been sparked within this connection so far, maybe over a misunderstanding, or as you've been spending time with this person, you're seeing this in real time. That this is not the type of person that they're out with you and they're like, making eyes at other people or flirting with other people. It feels like they've been very respectful so far when they're in your presence, but it's something that might have kind of taken you by surprise. You weren't really prepared for that. It's triggered something within you of kind of like, I don't know if I can sort of still my ego, or, this jealousy is kind of coming up. And I don't think that that's a healthy aspect that should be part of a connection that I'm involved in. Something where you might not have even needed to like say anything out loud, but this person's kind of picked up on that, or it's been something that has surfaced in previous connections with previous partners. And so they're wanting to kind of head that off at the pass to provide you with certain reassurances, that may involve like a conversation to address this very directly, or something where kind of like the next time that you're out, the next time that you're in public, and something like that happens where they're getting a lot of attention, or, somebody is kind of like overstepping a boundary in some sort of way. This is somebody, it feels like, that wants to make it very clear to you, like, I'm with you, I'm present with you, I'm not keeping my options open for other people, I don't feed off of that energy or that attention, I don't need that in order to puff my ego up into something. So this may be where this person is, wanting to kind of engage in more sort of like public displays of affection, hand holding, sitting close to you, something that can kind of like give you these indicators that although they might not be able to control the nature of that attention directed towards them from outside people, outside parties, that their heart, their emotions, their attention, their interest is all directed towards you. So that this can kind of like serve to sort of still some of that jealousy within you, or even if this is something that it feels like maybe hasn't necessarily manifested fully, or you've just got a few little twinges of jealousy, something that has kind of maybe stirred old wounds for you from previous partners that might not have been so forthright, might not have been operating in as much integrity as this person is, or might have, their ego might have been fed off of that attention. They could have sought to get that attention. Like one person wasn't enough. They needed everybody to be captivated by them. This new person that you're dealing with, this current person that you're dealing with, is like, I don't want you even for a minute to question my loyalties. I don't want you even for a moment to doubt that, like, I'm with you. When I'm with you, I'm with you. When we are not together in the same room or in the same environment, I'm still with you. There's loyalty going on behind closed doors and also out and about. We also have the Ten of Cups. So you are this person's wish fulfillment. This is something where they don't really want to put you on the spot and, make you feel bad about any kind of jealousy that has arisen, or anything that they're anticipating might kind of be problematic at this point in time. But there's almost a sense of like, what do you need in terms of reassurances so that that there's nobody else that you have to worry about. I'm not entertaining, ex-partners. I'm not, again, like having my ego sort of boosted through this attention that I don't necessarily want, but it comes with the package of who I am. It's part of just something I've come to understand at this point in my life. It is something that has proved to be a problem in previous connections. maybe in this person's younger years, they could have really, gotten a boost from that. Sort of like, wow, okay, all these eyes are on me, or it's very easy for me to, kind of bring in potential partners, or somebody that might have for a while just sort of like, well, I don't want to settle down, I don't want commitment with anyone, I want to keep my options open because I'm liking this, I'm liking the way that this makes me feel fulfilled, I'm getting some sort of validation based on that attention, based on those eyes on me, based on that flirtation from other people. But the version of them that they are at this point in time, that has this experience with you, that is interacting with you, has come to understand the value of like deeper connections as opposed to just surface level attention. So this is something where it feels like the next sort of step with this person in terms of more physical closeness, more intimacy in terms of like what they open up about. It might even be kind of surprising for you to, address this very directly. If you've been used to like partners or people in the past where there might have been a similar theme or kind of the same thing going on, those people could have been sort of duplicitous. They could have been, two-timing you, cheating on you, really getting off on that attention from other people, kind of basing their identity or feeding their ego off of that in some sort of way. And so it feels like this experience with this current person, it's going to be something that helps you to sort of walk beyond the anticipation of a repeating pattern or a wound that you already kind of know. Like, I know what that feels like. It doesn't feel good to be with someone like that. It doesn't make me feel special. It doesn't make me feel seen. It doesn't make me feel loved. It doesn't make me feel valued. I don't want to be with someone like that again. And yet you've magnetized in this opportunity with this person who has a very magnetic presence. They capture a lot of attention from other people. The two of you may be in that same sort of circumstance. You also may be getting a lot of attention, a lot of eyes on you. You could both be very attractive people, or just have this very kind of like powerful and magnetic energy, these magnetic auras about you. And so it's something where it's almost like this person is feeling like, I don't want you to be jealous of the possibility of other people, and I also don't want to go down that road of potential jealousy. You both could be mirroring each other at this time. Like, that could have been something which surfaced in previous connections and was kind of like the deal breaker in circumstances. There could have been like wounds that led to paranoia and kind of just like jumping to conclusions, and then connections collapse because there was an assumption of, whoever they were with, kind of like spending time with or having someone else on the side, or that could have actually happened. And so it created this fear within them that's kind of like, here's this hurdle which has come up, which is, they're picking up on, or maybe projecting a bit as it existing within you at this particular point in time, but there's some degree of that also exists within them, to where there's a sense of like, they don't just want that to go unchecked. They don't just want that to be something that is sort of swept under the rug. There's a sense like, we need to address this. We need to look at this at this particular point in time so that it doesn't just continue to kind of build in the darkness, build behind the scenes, and become a problem that like causes our connection to collapse further down the road. Because they really like you. They really adore you. They love you. They really want to be with you. You are that wish fulfillment. They're not looking for anyone else. Their attention is directed squarely towards you at this particular point in time. Yeah, we also have the King of Cups. So it feels like, that even that idea of like that you could be jealous about, other people in this person's life, maybe coworkers, or again, like out and about, and sort of just people that kind of check them out, people that, come up to them. Like if you're out eating, for example, there could be waitresses flirting with this person, like, and you're sitting there at the table, right in front of them, or people that they have in their life, and they're like, no, I swear it's just a friend, but then the person is like, making googly eyes at them, kind of being all doe-eyed and just very not respectful of the fact that like, you're in the picture, you're this person's plus one, they're dating you, they're on a date with you, they're seeing you, or there's some kind of relationship, some kind of connection. This person is very aware of all of that. And so this is something where it's like, I want to address that. I want to make sure that you feel comfortable. if there are people, in my life, if these are not just like random strangers, but, in kind of like some context of anybody that, is kind of in their life where there's the sense of like they may notice like, yeah, I know that person has a crush on me, yeah, I know they're flirting, yeah, I know that they're kind of exhibiting some low vibrational behavior. I don't want you to think that I'm somebody that is just going to sit there and kind of like, yeah, I want that to happen. Like I need that ego boost, I need that sort of reinforcement for myself. My self-esteem is so low in and of itself that I require not just attention from one person, but attention from a lot of people in order to feel valued, in order to feel, like I really am somebody of worth. This is something where they can almost anticipate, or maybe they've sort of seen or noticed when you've been out and about, kind of like an energy of letdown or guardedness within, when this has kind of surfaced the potential for this, or maybe it's been kind of like newer experiences where you've been out with this person and it's like, wow, okay, this is not just somebody I find attractive. This is not just somebody that I like. This is not just someone that I'm looking towards with the energy of desire or affection, but like other people are looking as well. And even if you're a very secure person, you got really good self-esteem, good sense of self, you know what you bring to the table, it feels like this energy at this particular point in time definitely could be very intrusive. It's something that if it's just strangers, it's the waitress out at the restaurant, fine, you finish your meal, you go home for the night, maybe you go somewhere else next time, that's easy to kind of avoid. But if this is anything where this is like a person or people in this person's life that are almost kind of disrespecting the connection between the two of you by doing this, like especially if you're present, or anything that might have even sort of happened behind the scenes, like when you weren't around, this is somebody that's kind of like they want to draw the line in order to let these other people know, like, that's not acceptable. This isn't like the time or the occasion for that, or something where it's almost like this person wants to defend your name when you're not in the room. And then not just have that happen, but like open up and tell you, sort of like, this person did this. I just want to let you know. This was my response. This was my reaction. I'm not going to spend so much time with that person, or, I had to be almost kind of like mean to them just to kind of let them know, like, I don't want any sort of nonsense, I don't appreciate that, because it feels like this is the energy of something where there are people where it should be pretty obvious, like you and this person have something going on. You're dating, you're getting to know one another, or you're a couple. You've got a dynamic with each other. Maybe it's not defined. You haven't put labels on it up to this point in time, but it's pretty obvious that it's like, yeah, you got something going on. And so this may be something that is kind of, it's almost like a token of affection, or like a gesture of love for this person, to really almost like lay claim to this circumstance with you, to fight for this circumstance with you, by kind of shooing away these sort of groupies, or these little like hanger-oners that are just kind of like, ooh, okay, now you're not just sort of single and you got your options open. Now you have someone that, special, or that you're exclusive with. So now's the opportunity where I'm going to, try to come in and sabotage that, or all of a sudden you look really yummy, you look really appealing to me, and I couldn't have cared less before. Or again, maybe this is something where this person just gets a lot of attention and they just brushed it off. They ignored it, or it would have been something, that they would have explored in kind of more of their single or open or available days. But with this King of Cups, this is the energy of somebody that is kind of like, no, I don't want to leave anything to chance. This is the opportunity for me to plant my flag in the ground and say, look, I'm not interested in other things. I'm not interested in other people. Not just give you those reassurances, but kind of like make that known. Almost like they're sending out a memo, not just in terms of like ignoring the flirtations, or, kind of like looking away, but something where it's almost like this person doesn't mind being like mean to other people, in order to really hit that message home of sort of like, yeah, no, I'm not available for that. I'm not interested in kind of like sneaky links. I'm not wanting something else on the side. I like this person that I'm with right now. I like this person that I'm getting to know. I've got this, exclusive energy focused on this person, on you, the viewer. And so this is something that it's almost kind of like a proclamation going out, to people. Sort of like tell your friends, tell other people, like let it be known. I'm off the market at this point in time. I'm not looking for anything else, and I'm not somebody that appreciates people kind of like stepping beyond the boundaries, or almost what they might feel is kind of like disrespecting you or disrespecting the potential of what the two of you can become, by directing those kind of, again, like doe-eyed energies, or a lot of flirtation, that it feels like, especially for people that like know this person personally, or are aware of you, are aware of this dynamic. It's kind of like it oversteps certain boundaries. We've also got the Nine of Pentacles. So this person doesn't want to lose you. They don't want to make you feel that you're just an option, or that the future is very uncertain between the two of you. It may still be kind of early in your connection, so it's kind of like, it would be too soon to, put a ring on it, for example. But there's a sense of like, there's a reassurance that I can provide you. There's something that can be addressed. Like, I don't want you to be jealous. I don't want you to be uncertain. I don't want you to think that someone else could kind of just come in and swoop me away, or that I'm just kind of like treading water with you until something better comes along. This person with this Pentacles energy here, they are very certain that you're the person that they want to build with. You are somebody that they want to move forward with. They want to evolve beyond this situation. And so with where you're at this particular point in time, there's something here with kind of like pulling you close, not just letting you know, not just kind of like whispering that in your ear and sort of like, yeah, I'm all in, I'm with you, I'm loyal, I'm here, let's explore what comes next. But it's something about like making that known to other people. They're exclusive with you, that they're claiming you. For some, this is like they're wanting to put pictures up on social media. They're wanting to announce this connection, or start to kind of showcase like, yeah, I continue to spend time with the same person. So let that be a notice to other people that may be thinking they can just like slip into the DMs with, a little something, or, that they can send that text, or that they can like extend themselves, or that they can kind of like flirt, or direct that sort of energy of desire. Like, let it be known, I'm not interested in any of that. I have found someone that I like. I have found someone that I like to spend time with. I have found somebody that, is aligning with what it is that I'm looking for at this point in my life. And so, this may be something, again, that is kind of like, it serves to almost quell a bit of jealousy that may have arisen within. It feels like it's kind of like a step forward for this person, sort of like, this is the length that I'm willing to go to for this connection, just to make sure that there's, no uncertainty between the two of us. So you don't get the wrong impression, so you don't feel insecure, so that wounds aren't kind of like sparked within you. And feel free to kind of in your own way, if there's anything that is kind of like questionable, this is something that I would respect. I would like that as well, because I'm feeling a bit jealous. I'm feeling a bit intimidated. So it's kind of like, let's take this step forward with one another to kind of announce to the wider world that it's like, yeah, we're here, we're doing this dance with each other right now. It is what it is, and hopefully it will become something more further down the road. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.